All right, welcome to 4-2, day 2, example 2. 2. All right, so we are going to start just like we did our last one. We're graphing g of x equals 2x squared plus plus x minus 9 divided by x squared minus 2x minus 8. And again, our first step is to factor. We're going to factor the top, we're going to factor the bottom. Let's start with the top, the numerator. When I look at that, we have 2x squared plus x minus 9. First, I'm going to check for a GCF. I can't take anything out of there. I can't divide 2, 1, and 9 by a number that's bigger than 1. So that means we're going to have to do slide and divide, which I know is probably not your favorite, but that's what we got to do. So for that one, we're going to start by sliding the 2 over to the negative 9. When we do that, we have x squared plus x minus 2 times negative 9. It gives me 18. From here, we're going to set up our little x method. When I do that, we're going to put the number in front of our x, which is just 1, in the bottom. So we have plus 1 on the bottom, and then we have a negative 18 on top. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 18 and add to 1. So I know that I can do 1 times 18. I could do 2 times 9. I could do 3 times 6. I can't do 4 times anything. I can't do 5 times anything. And if I notice, none of those will get me 1. Even if you make one of them negative or one of them positive, they won't actually work, and I can't actually multiply two numbers and get negative 18 and get a positive 1. This is good to check, because if I can do it, it changes our problem, but for this one we can't do it. So the top is in fact factored. I'm going to go ahead and put a little check mark there. The bottom, we are going to factor that. Again, we have x squared minus 2x minus 8. For that one, I can do the x method. Again, we're looking for something that multiplies to negative 8 and adds to negative 2. I know 2 times 4 gives me 8. And then if I want to get a negative 2, you have to do 2 and negative 4. So if I rewrite my fraction, we still have 2x squared plus x minus 9 on the top. And then we have divided by x plus 2 and x minus 4. This will help me because now I can get my vertical asymptotes. Again, to get my vertical asymptotes, I'm going to set that denominator equal to 0. So I'm going to do x plus 2 equals 0 and x minus 4 equals 0. Again, for the first one, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We can subtract 2 from both sides and get x equals negative 2. For the second one, we'll add 4 to both sides, and we get x equals 4. Those are my two vertical asymptotes, so we're going to go ahead and draw those in. For my first one, let's go over negative 2, and then we're going to draw our dashed line all the way up and down. My second one, we're going to go over positive 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and again draw our dotted line all the way up and all the way down. All right, from here we have to do our horizontal asymptotes. Again, we're looking at the first two terms. So we have 2x squared over x squared. And notice that your degree is the same. We have 2, we have 2. And again, that means because the degree is the same, we're going to compare our coefficients. So we're looking at our numbers out front. Notice that the first one has a 2. The second one has a 1. Again, I drew that 1 in. It's there even though it's kind of hiding. It's a sneaky little 1. So that means when we're trying to find our horizontal asymptote, we're going to do y equals 2 divided by 1, which is just the same as 2. So my horizontal asymptote is going to be y equals 2. Again, to graph that, we're going to go up 1, we're going to go up 2, and then we're going to draw our line straight across. and that's our horizontal asymptote. Again, from here we have to graph, so I'm going to go ahead and open up my calculator. Give me 1 second. All right, so I went ahead and typed my equation in. Again, notice the top part is in parentheses divided by the bottom. So if I look at my graph, if you want, you can kind of zoom in on your graph and get a little more information. Let me do that quick for you. The first thing I notice is that you have this point here that's lit up. So if you wanted to plot that point, you can, or even there's this one here too that you can put in. That one's over 0 up 1.125, 0 up just above 1. So I noticed that the bottom part of my graph should look something like this. The middle part is going to be this curved thing, and then the top will be, let's shrink this, right here. And that's your graph. Again, my graph isn't perfect, it's just a sketch. You just want to get an idea of what the shape looks like. All right, thank you for watching. I have one final example for you, and then y'all are good to go and work on your homework. As always, if you have any questions, please talk to your teacher.